The film opens with Jack working at his computer when he receives a call from a friend monitoring a solar eclipse from another location. Crowds have gathered to watch the event. Meanwhile, Jack's ex-wife Emma calls him because he's late for their divorce meeting. He apologizes, explaining he got caught up with urgent work. Alex is monitoring the temperature on his screen when a massive cold wave suddenly descends from the sky. Temperatures plummet rapidly, signaling the arrival of a severe, unexpected storm. Jack heads to his lawyer's office for the meeting. He wants to make things right, but his new job in Beijing is putting strain on their relationship. Despite his efforts, Emma remains firm on the divorce and they schedule a follow-up meeting. Jack then returns home to find his daughter, Naomi, getting ready to leave. He tries to talk to her, expressing regret for missing her birthday and promising a surprise. Naomi, however, brushes him off, accusing him of prioritizing work over family. Later, Jack is asleep in his office when Joey arrives with water and medicine. As they talk, they receive a call about a ship accident. After reaching the site, Jack and Joey begin investigating, but the ship is soaked, making it difficult to retrieve any functional evidence. They dry the hard drive and attempt to recover data, but most files are corrupted. At the hospital, Emma shows Jack the body of a crew member encased in frost crystals, indicating that the freezing happened so rapidly that the cells essentially burst. Temperatures had dropped between -60 degrees to -75 degrees Celsius. Jack calls his boss, Walter, who explains that the eclipse affected the mesosphere, causing a dramatic temperature drop and increased air density. Human pollution had already weakened the ozone layer, and the sudden cold air from the mesosphere descended over the Pacific Ocean, creating a deadly freezing wave. Jack warns that the storm is so intense it could freeze humans and ships instantly. Walter, skeptical, asks him to hand over the data so the team can analyze it collectively. The weather department confirms the approaching cold wave along the coast. Jack meets rescue team member Brent, explaining that the ozone layer might be the culprit. Brent refuses to sound the alarm without concrete proof, frustrating Jack. He leaves and calls Emma, warning her he's coming to pick up Naomi from school. When Jack arrives, Naomi isn't there. He meets her friend, who reveals her whereabouts. Jack sets off to reach Naomi while trying to contact her. Meanwhile, Naomi is at the beach with friends, preparing to enter the water as the looming cold wave threatens to strike. While driving, Jack speaks with Joey on the phone, who is monitoring the approaching cold wave via their satellite system. She keeps him updated constantly. Meanwhile, Naomi and her friends notice the strange cold wave and try to understand it, with Naomi recording the phenomenon. When Jack reaches the beach, he warns Naomi and her friend Fadi that the wave is deadly. Fadi runs toward the water to warn her friend Jarrett, who is surfing. Jarrett tries to escape, but the freezing wave overtakes him. Jack urges Fadi to run as well, but she too is caught by the storm. Jack and Naomi manage to escape in their car just in time. Jack calls Brent to report the tragic beach incident and warns that the cold wave is moving toward the city. Brent assures him that the public will be alerted immediately. Meanwhile, Emma is picking up her parents to take them to a lab for safety. Jack tells her he will bring Naomi to the lab and advises Emma to stay put, warning that the cold wave is advancing rapidly. Brent contacts the Australian rescue team and informs Barker about the extreme temperatures, which have plummeted to -60 degrees Celsius. News reports confirm that the wave has reached Tasmania's southern coast and will hit Hobart in 2 hours. As the cold wave approaches, panic spreads. People rush to buy heaters and warm clothing while schoolchildren flee. The wave strikes the city, causing chaos and destruction. People freeze instantly, and even an airplane is destroyed in an explosion. Jack and Naomi reach the lab just seconds before the storm hits. There, they meet Joey, who reveals that the freezing fog has reached a deadly -90 degrees Celsius. The wave hits Emma's parents' home, and amid the chaos, someone knocks at the door, seeking shelter from the freezing fog. Emma brings the person inside, trying to keep them warm. Brent calls to report that they were unprepared. 300 people are now in shelters, 30 of them severely frostbitten. In the lab, Jack and Joey work on a solution. Jack suggests that the only way to stop the wave is to close the ozone layer's crack. He calls Walter with his plan, but Walter insists they already have a strategy. 300 weather balloons filled with magnesium particles would be launched and ignited with missiles to cause ionization and seal the ozone layer. This is a joint US-Australia effort. Jack warns that this method won't work, but Walter dismisses him and hangs up. Joey asks what they should do next, and Jack says they will continue working on their own simulations, even without the organization's support. As they analyze, Jack and Joey realize that the original ozone crack is causing additional waves. Meanwhile, Emma's father tries to contact Drew Wilson in the US, explaining the dire situation in snowy Australia. Barker updates Walter that the magnesium-filled balloons are ready for deployment. The cold wave reaches the Australian Emergency Response Centre, causing panic among the staff. Barker reassures them that they are safe inside. Meanwhile, Walter and Tammy debate whether Jack should be involved in solving the crisis. At the Queensland Air Force Base, preparations are underway to launch weather balloons. Barker checks progress with James, who reports that 10 balloons are ready. Suddenly, they receive news that a cold wave is just 50 miles from the USS Adams. Recognizing the urgency, Barker orders the balloons to be launched immediately from the ship. Tammy calls Jack to explain that the balloons had to be deployed earlier than planned due to the emergency. Jack asks if they can monitor the project's progress, and Tammy promises to provide a live link. The planes reach their positions and successfully fire the missiles, intending to rupture the balloons and release magnesium particles to seal the ozone layer's crack. However, Walter fears the dispersion might have been too great, and the explosions have little effect. He reluctantly admits the mission failed, and they still cannot contact the USS Adams. Walter instructs that emergency measures continue to protect the public and that they will discuss next steps soon. Walter then calls Jack to ask what he needs to resolve the crisis. Jack requests rockets with ammonium nitrate, explaining that they will ignite the clouds using the mesosphere's electrical activity. This will trigger a chain reaction, allowing the ozone layer to naturally repair itself. Walter regrets that Jack wasn't included from the beginning, but Jack presses forward. Suddenly, Joey faints and Jack realizes her blood sugar has dropped dangerously low. He races to get insulin, braving the cold wave on the way, and barely reaches a medical store. Returning home, he administers the injection, and Joey slowly regains consciousness. Together, Jack and Joey upload all their data to the system. Walter grants clearance and the rocket launch begins. The ammonium nitrate disperses into the clouds, lightning arcs through the mesosphere, and a massive chain reaction begins. Light spreads across the sky as the ozone layer's crack slowly closes. Satellite imagery confirms the cold waves are subsiding worldwide, and the weather returns to normal. In the control room, the team cheers and Walter and Barker breathe a sigh of relief. In the final moments, Jack warns that this was only a warning,